Drill 92.3 LA's home for hip hop, man. Bootleg, Kev, Damage, and Dre Sinatra. Fellas, we got a special guest in the building.
He's here.
Hi, Tom.
626.
What's up, man?
What's up, man? Yo, man, you've been making noise for a minute, bro. You're doing your thing.
Man.
I mean,
baby steps, bro.
Baby steps, bro. For everybody who don't know who you are, what part of town are you from? You know, and we know you're from the 626. Give us a little background.
West Covina, California. You know, most people know it as West Covina because it's right off the 10, but SGV, baby. That's what I'm at. Queen of the Valley, born and raised. Covina is my city. I'm putting it on the map. You know, stand up, 626. Let's go.
That's what's up, man. We just did a high school out there. We were talking about, was it Gladstone?
Gladstone High School.
Weak. What high school did you go to?
Oh, man. I went to South Hills. Eventually got booted out of there, and I graduated from Covina. So
You got kicked. Why'd you get kicked out of high school? Out of that particular school? What were you doing, man?
I mean,
What
they
was
said I was doing bad stuff, but I thought I was doing good stuff. I was just rapping and dreaming about tatting. That's all I was doing.
So you do tattoos as well?
Yeah.
I mean, you look like you do tattoos.
I mean, bro, everywhere I go, they either say, what do you do for a living? Oh, you tattoo? Yeah, I tattoo. Oh, what else? I do music. Oh, what else? Oh, I design clothes. Oh, what else? Oh, I own a barbershop. Oh, what else? I mean, I'm just an entrepreneur. I'm creative.
Dope,
I tattoo, and that's what I do.
That's what's up, man. So you you say you started rapping in high school?
Yes.
So what was the first dream? Was it rapper, tattoo artist? You know, what was like kind of like your first priority coming out of high school? What you really wanted to pursue?
Music has always been priority.
Number one.
You know, when sometimes you find out in life, like, when you're that young, you don't realize, like, you really do need money to pursue this music. You know, we all grow up and we think, man, if we're tight, we're going to get a shot. Someone's going to see me at this spot. Somebody's going to, you know, be that dude that says, you're dope and I'm giving you a shot. But realistically, you have to create your own shot.
Of course.
And,
How did you do that? How did you create your own shot?
So there wasn't a lot of people that wanted to take chances on me. You know, this has been a 10-year grind. I've dropped, 10, 11 bodies of work. And at the time, there was no big investors. There was really no labels out there. It wasn't easy to get distribution, and that's what it was out there. Like, if you weren't signed to a major back, like, you're not getting on nothing that you really need to get on to really put yourself on a platform to really grow. So my cousin, my family, everyone that I grew up around was in the tattoo business.
Right.
So I'm rapping, I'm doing my thing on the streets, but there came a time where I was like, man, like, I legitly need to make money to get in the studio so I can leave the studio with a product and give it to people and see if they really, resonate with it. So 3 years, stopped doing music and focused on learning how to tat. And it was cleaning restrooms, it was, mopping floors, it was cleaning people that just left it, like cleaning up tat. Like, I did the bottom of the totem pole stuff, and 3 years later, I was tatting. And I always told myself, I'm like, the day I make $1 off of this tat game is the day I'm getting back in the studio. 3 years later, I did a tat. It was like, I think I made $120. I split 60-40. I ended up leaving, somewhere around $60.
Right.
And that was enough. I went to the studio. I recorded my first record in 2010, and it's just been an uphill battle since then.
Wow.
You know, and that's how you really pave the way and build something from scratch.
I mean, that's where the guy with the Russian hat comes in with the bag, right?
It took me 5 years to meet something like that, bro. Like, I was on my last leg before I met someone that really, truly believed in me. And like I want to tell all these kids out here, like, everyone wants to take the easy route, but sometimes the harder route, means more in the end, bro. Like, there's a lot of people out there that are just looking for a single deal and something quick, but I've never been in this game to be quick. You know what I'm saying? I've always wanted something that's gonna, support me for a lifetime. Who wants to live a dream for a year when they can live a dream for 10?
Right.
And that's what it's about for me.
As a tattoo artist, what was the worst tattoo you ever had to do? I'm just curious because I always feel like it's like there's always like I'm like, man, someone had to tattoo that shit on your ass crack. or yeah, I don't know, man. People get their dicks tattooed. You know what I mean? I'm sure you didn't do a
That's
dick
something
tattoo.
that you would do. I feel like that's something that you
I would never get my dick tattooed.
You feel like an arrow or something.
Come on, dude. I'm not fucking white, but I'm not white trash. I'm white trash-ish. But what's the worst tattoo you had to
Thank
do?
God I ain't never had to do that. But
You could turn that down. Obviously.
you know, it's like I think the craziest tat that I did was you know, the homie that owned the tattoo shop was from a hood. One of his homies that just got out came through. And I was always, I was always a little cat in it. I was always getting sunned. I was always just on the bottom. So it was like whatever came in, I had to do. I was picking up scraps. So the homie wanted the hood from eyebrow to eyebrow. Literally the entire forehead, block letters, the hood. And I was terrified. Like, I was like
if you screw up, he might kill you.
I mean, everything was going through my head. It was just, but it
Like,
was
hey,
just.
buddy, are you sure you want to do this? You'll
it
never
was-
get another job as long as you're alive.
And I was trying to shake. I was trying, bro. I think I'm gonna like, sunned me. Had to do it. Had to pay the price. And it was just that was the craziest.
Probably was an
tattoo.
amazing tattoo.
Just two block
Have
letters
you
across
seen that
the
guy?
forehead. Was
Did
crazy.
you ever see him again after that?
Never.
Oh man.
I think I still got a video in my phone too. So I'm
That's
like,
crazy.
every once in a while with the computer, I'll scroll through and I'm like, man, that was crazy.
That sounds nuts.
I just want to know too, man. Being a rapper who's Mexican, what's like the challenge? What's the biggest obstacle as far as that? Because right now that wave was quiet, and I feel like this is a whole new wave. So it's like there's not really too much that's comparable. So what's the challenge for you being a Latino rapper in the game right now?
I mean, the first thing that comes to my head is like it's exciting because everything is timing, and I feel like if I was in this building 3 years ago, it would have been a great opportunity, but it wouldn't have worked.
Right.
Right now, there's this wave right now that with everything going on in the world, it's like people understand like what type of voice the Hispanic and Mexican culture have, especially in LA with like the raids going on and the DACA stuff going on and everything going on, and it's like it feels like it's time. There's 4.6 million Hispanics in LA, and there's not been one to champion on the radio. There's not been one to champion on these big concerts and festivals, and it's like, how could there be that many Mexicans in LA? But nobody to look up to. Nobody to look up to, though. Like,
right.
we all need somebody to look up to, whether you're white, you're black, you're Asian, Middle Eastern. Like, we all have somebody in our culture that we, praise, and we go, I want to be like him, and that's who I want to be like, and he motivates me and inspires me. And it's like, right now, this is the time, and I am the voice. Like, I'm ready to take this, champion it, unite it. Everybody, there's a gang, there's 100 million thousand Mexicans out here that are cool. People just ain't got that side of us yet. When you go to New York, it's like, and say you're Mexican, it's like, they think of you as one person. They just think of you as like, they've seen the movie American Me. Yeah. Like, they think like, they think you're that. And yes, our culture's that. Our background is that. My family's that. In and out of prison. Street stuff, into gangs, and I grew up around that, but not every Mexican has to be labeled as that.
No, for sure.
Or Chicano rapper.
That's what it is. And back to the question, Dre, is like, that's the uphill battle that we've been facing.
Right.
Because there's been that we've created this image about us.
Especially within hip hop. It's like
with hip hop. Yeah, like because
sure.
There's a lot of Mexican Americans from LA that we look up to, like, or even in music, Santana, like there's been Selena, there's been Richie Valens, but there's not been a rapper from LA that has held the torch and collaborated with some of the biggest in the world, like, and there's talented Mexicans, but I feel like the ones that have done it before me have legitimately been passed up on. Like
who in your opinion?
I mean, if you want to take it back, bro, like, it's not even about being passed up on or not, but like, who Kid Frost to me, and Scoop, like, they were like a staple in LA rap, you know,
Scoop, for sure, Scoop.
and back then it was like Kid Frost was like the dude really putting out, you know, this, I guess, Chicano rap, and it's like everything stayed in that realm. Everything. Like, there's nothing that's elevated really from that sound and from that era.
But that's where I feel you guys come in. Like, that's
King
cool.
OG.
Where, like, you know, like you said, that's like a different era. It's like
That's
the
an era.
Chicano thing. It's not as accessible or popular to everybody. Where this kid might not be able to relate to, and I feel like that's the difference between you and that era. Is where you don't have to be Mexican to relate to you and be like, hey, yo, this
Or be a fan of
this
your
high
music.
tone kid is dope. You know what I'm saying? It's not as limited as to back then when if you were a Latin rapper,
You really had to be a
that.
Mexican to like
You
fuck with
you
Lil
had to
Rock.
have like Cortez and Dickies, and if you don't have that, it wasn't popping. So I feel like now you have like a whole new wave, a whole new look. That the new generation could be like, I don't have to be a gangster, I don't have to be an SA. Do you ever feel that way?
Yeah, I mean, you see the way I dress, bro.
Like
You
kids
see,
dressing like you or having tattoos like
yeah,
you.
it's like it's a new wave of Mexicans that have the background of the traditional Mexican,
Kid Frost and
but it's new.
right.
And I feel like the OGs need to respect the growth, and I feel like the new age need to respect
the old
the
school
legends.
cats, yeah.
You know, and I feel like, you know, you don't need a, oh, he's on this side and he's on this side, or he raps too black and he's too cholo, or it don't need to be that. It's like we all as people need to make sure our culture is growing. And where is it growing to? Like, at the end of the day, it's like, yes, I'm Mexican and I'm proud of it, but I still need to embrace on what's going on and who's around me. Like,
And not
you know,
make it
like,
so limited.
no, exactly.
Not
Like,
limited to just the Mexicans or
it's,
just people in
it's,
LA.
it's not
Bigger
about
than
that, bro. Music should really be feeling, passion, soul. It should really be no color lines to music, because real hip hop was never, are you black, are you white, are you it's been, are your bars nice, is the beat nice, is the message nice,
Mhm.
and that's what music was really about. And
Right.
like, it's weird, like when you get to the West Coast, it's like there's all these little like cliques, and like, oh, that's West Coast gangster rap, oh, that's conscious rap, oh, that's Chicano rap, oh, that's this. It's like, bro, it's really just all hip hop. It's
Exactly.
how are you voicing who you are.
Or people put it in a box.
Yeah, and then you know, we're brown, but we're still not a box. Like, that's just what it
Exactly.
is. Like, you know, just listen to my, close your eyes, and make your decision off if you feel me or not. And if you don't feel me, everyone's has their own opinion, and that's
Me, like
cool.
when I first heard your shit, like I wasn't sure you were Mexican or not, because you look like you could be just a tatted up white dude. You know what I mean? like you,
No.
like when Gentry first sent me your shit, I was like, this shit is dope. Like
I think that's a good thing,
like-
though. You know what I'm
like
saying?
no, like you know, like it's all about just talking about shit people can relate to. Like you know, you was talking about your pill issues and shit, and like I got family members that are just their whole entire life has been just flushed down the fucking toilet over.
Yeah.
Another thing
over
too.
that shit.
Recently, I seen you link up with King Little G, and I thought that was super important because I feel like you guys are a new movement, and I feel like that's something big and something that had to happen. You know what I'm saying? Like
Had
that's
to,
just
bro.
like when two of the biggest of a genre, a new genre, come together. I just felt like that moment when I seen it, I was happy for y'all.
Yeah.
I don't know how it came about, but I just remember looking at that picture specifically and be like, thank you. Like, this needed to happen. Instead of y'all, dividing it and being separate, it was like, thank you all for coming together. How did that happen?
You know, me and we've known each other for years, bro. Through street stuff, through family stuff, and it's like we've never pushed the issue and forced things, bro. It was like King Lil G is doing his thing, High Tone's doing his thing. They're both doing, hip hop, but they're in two different lanes, and it's like when the stars align, they align, bro. And it's crazy. Like, we reconnected in Vegas, and I mean, it's just been like progression since,
Right.
like we've been sending each other records, and we just been building, bro. And it's like we've had major talks where it's like, we're always so proud of who we are and our people, but it's like sometimes pride gets the best of our people.
Exactly.
And I felt like it's about pushing that aside, and it's about making things bigger than they already are. And
So at a time though, was it ever like a friendly competition? It wasn't like I don't fucking. It was like, yo, I want to be like, that guy. Was there that friendly competition?
I mean,
anymore?
I always feel like when you are different and when you are like, okay, like when M came out, like I'm sure he felt like there was 10 other white boys that wanted to rap with him, but he was like, I'm the guy.
Right.
And it's like everyone's got to prove themselves to be who they are, but it's never really been a competition with me and him, bro. It's just always been like, we just ain't like linked. And
right.
like when we linked, it was just like all them talks were pushed aside. It was just like, hey, bro, these are my plugs. Yo, these are your plugs. Like, let's make this work. You know what I'm saying? Let's just make it work. Like, we need this. Our people needs this. The culture needs this. Hip hop needs this. Like, LA needs this. Like, everybody needs this. We understand how important it is, bro. Like, to make it a team thing, bro, instead of an individual thing. Because when everything's individual, it just don't work, bro.
That's real. Unity always is better than secluding yourself and separating yourself, for sure, man. Talk about you just dropped a new song, a new video. Was it last week?
Yeah.
The Voice.
Yeah, The Voice. Shit's crazy, man. Talk about that and what project is that attached to?
So The Voice dropped September 15th, Hispanic Heritage Month. Shout out Charisma. She put the sirens on it and she played it for us. And the next day Billboard did an entire write-up and premiered the video. So it was like everything I dreamed of happened at once, and it was so overwhelming because like I've really been working for 10 years, like, and it ain't just talk and this and that. Like, if you really research it, like, you're gonna see like this has been a decade of a struggle for me to even sit here with you guys. Like, so those opportunities and those moments is something that I just cherished.
Of course.
And it was just been like, we had this idea and this plan, because everything great starts with a plan. So we had these visions of what The Voice could do, but like we could never dream about how it reacted to the world. And it was like that instantly showed us like there's a market for this. There's something needed in the game that this is fulfilling. This is a piece of the puzzle that was missing. And like The Voice, I mean, just the title alone, like, we all got voices, bro. No matter where you're from, where you're at, what you look like, we all got a voice, and I'm just voicing me. So that's coming off of POA, Price of Admission. It's an album. It dropped December 15th. But we just knew it was important that we resonated with the streets and the struggle and the message before we really gave you the salsa. You know what I'm saying? Like, because just because I gave you that record, and just because it was so real and so political and so deep, it doesn't mean that I ain't got nothing in the bag that's going to make you, move, dance, or make you feel a certain way. Like, that's the thing about this record. Like, I don't want it to get misconstrued. I don't want people to think, oh, Tone is a conscious rapper and he can't do this. Like, I think being a real artist is being able to do everything.
Right.
Some days you feel rich, you can get a check for 3 racks, and then you feel on top of the world, and you write a record like you're a boss, and then the next day you spend it and it's like, I'm back to my normal self, and you feel broke. And it's like, music is really just about feeling. So don't put me in a box. Don't say I'm this. Just listen and enjoy, bro, because we all have different moods every day of the week.
100%, man. That's dope. You said that you feel like you're filling in a piece of the puzzle that's been missing from hip hop, and you kind of representing something that there's a market for. What is that piece? Do you think that's been missing? Like that maybe that there's certain people out there who haven't found the artist that speaks for them. What is that you're speaking for that you think has been missing so far?
I mean, I'm definitely speaking for my culture.
Right.
My background. I'm Mexican American. I'm born here. I'm generations in. I just don't feel like we've gotten a shot to prove that we are just as talented as everybody else.
Right.
You know what I'm saying? Like, it's funny because when people mention me, it's like, oh, the Mexican rapper, oh, the Hispanic rapper, oh, the Latin rapper. But when you mention Jay-Z, you don't say, oh, the black rapper. When you mention Lil Uzi, you don't say the black rapper. You know what I'm saying? Cole, the black rapper. It's like there's a market for this because there's a lot of Mexicans that feel like me. You know what I'm saying? And that's just the real. Like, why you even gotta put my race before my rap name? Like, why?
I feel like it's almost like, because there's been so many white rappers that have blown up, I don't think the white rapper thing is a thing anymore.
No, well, just rappers.
It used to be a thing, like bad.
This is the one conversation I've always had.
But it's not as bad anymore. Like when a rapper comes out and he's white, like people aren't like, oh, it's a white rapper.
No, you know what they say? They're like, oh, he's out of here. It's like cheating. But the thing about Hispanic,
true.
The thing about Hispanic rappers, though, too, I feel like they always put themselves in a box. Like they want to rap in Spanish. You know what I'm saying? It's like that's cool. It's proud to be Mexican, Spanish, whatever it is, but. You don't have to. It's like Big Pun. I always tell people he's a perfect example. He didn't have to rap in Spanish every time or say I'm Puerto Rican. He was just a dope rapper, and that was it. And that's why I think.
He happened to be
some of the Latin rappers, they fall into that trap where it's like they put themselves in that box instead of taking themselves out that box. And that's the one thing about High Tone. I feel like he's taking himself outside of that box. He don't have to rap in Spanish. He don't have to tell you he's Mexican. You see it when you see it. It's self-explanatory. But the bars are open for everybody and doesn't put them in a box.
Straight up, man.
Can we hear some of these bars?
Yeah, we gotta get High Tone on this beat, man.
Yes, with that, let's go.
Bars, man.
Let's go,
man.
Real quick though, before we gonna get to the freestyle, we gonna let you introduce your voice record right now, man. Go ahead, let LA know what's up with this record real quick.
Yo, what up? This is High Tone. This is the voice. Open your mind, open your heart, open your soul. Share it with your people. Stand up for who you are. Embrace who you're not. This is the voice. High Tone off of POA, price of admission. Ooh.
It's 92.3.